Well, I'm going to try this again. I thought I had an hour before the Eddie Family Farm came on, but I thought the time it was saying they were coming on was Central Standard Time, but it was Eastern Standard Time. And there might not be nobody around now. I left. Hello, I got two people. How are y'all doing tonight? Me, I'm just hanging in there. Hey, Christina, I just got off the watching live, and my TV just came on by itself, all by itself. I'll be right back. Hang in there. Hey, Melinda.
It definitely raised a red flag. It was definitely shocking.
Pretty good when the TV decides it wants to watch. I guess it thinks it wanted to watch itself. It just came on. I mean, I'm sitting here and boom, the TV just came on. Well, uh, let me, let's see. And I think even my phones went crazy on me here all of a sudden. Yeah. I am, oh, hey, Peggy. No, my TV started playing all by itself. Melinda. Well, hey, Neil. There's Neil. Hey, good to see you. Let me get on my phone where I can. There were so many people in Brandon's live. I don't know if any of you were there or not. It's really, I couldn't see it that good. Uh, well, can you imagine though? Uh, Never know what doors are open. Uh, yeah, I hear you, Neil. At here's Steve Uber. Yeah, I had that. I had my invisible coat on, but actually, I wouldn't turn the TV off. Uh, yeah. Can you imagine? Brandon was going to go put Dixie down, and found out that they could do the surgery. that's going to be a hard life on that dog to start with, getting adjusted and everything. And being a big dog, it's harder. Uh, I know, like Carly was born that way, so never knew no difference. But we'll wait. We'll wait and see how it all comes out. We'll just keep them in prayer. Yeah. There's Eric. Well, it's Eric. It's Thursday now here. I've been I've been having troubles at night, and uh, uh, up and down, and I talk to my doctor about it here in a few days, a couple of weeks from now. To another 30 minutes from me. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, yeah. That's that's like Neil. Neil's way ahead of us, you know. Yeah, yeah, I was too. I didn't expect it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't expect it. But uh somehow or another, some doctor in front of them that said, I can do this. And I'm just praying that she adjusts to it fairly quickly. You know, I said in my video, and uh, they just ain't made to be pinned up. That they aren't, and Brandon knows that. And you know, they need they need some open space. Yeah, it does. Uh, that's yeah, yeah. Always something going on. You know, like I said, Tank out here. You, if we pinned Tank in, uh, Tank would Tank would have a psychic problem, and I know that. Uh, them them dogs. I mean, they can adjust to losing limbs, and uh, yeah, thank you, Melinda. Yeah, they can adjust to things, but they've also got to be able to carry their weight, and but that doesn't change their heart. I'm trying to see how to put this. Of what they know, what their job is, they know what they want, they know what they're supposed to be doing. Uh, and some of that's, she's gonna have to be a. They're gonna have to put other animals in with her for her to protect them when she's able to. Yeah. Oh, I know they can't that she could never ever be an indoor dog. You might take a. I mean, even taking a puppy of that breed of dog and say you raise it in the house and never knows no different. There's still something in them dogs. It's just built inside of them. They they've got to roam. They've got to look. They've got to have something to do. And I know Brandon and Stephanie won't keep her pinned up no longer than they have to by herself. Christina, you be careful out there running the streets now. I had some tea and I don't know what I did with it. I don't believe what happened was a coyote. First of all, if they got her down, they would have chewed on her a whole lot more. Uh, she'll automatically she won't have to go to rehab. She'll adjust on her own real quick. She'll learn how to get around. It won't take her long at all. But she won't be able to run and clear the fence and all that kind of stuff to go chasing after a coyote. Uh, hey, Brian, if she's driving, she better not be on here unless she's sitting somewhere waiting on an order. I've seen a number of three-legged dogs in my lifetime. Yeah, she knows better than to be on here and driving at the same time. Yeah, you know, uh, I had a dog put in my life. Uh, uh, y'all getting after Christina. Y'all get her. Uh, Brian, make her a video chat. You show that she's parked. I mean, well, and y'all probably seen. I've put pictures up. Had nothing to do with Christine. It was all about that van. Right? Brian don't want nothing. uh, yeah, I'll tell you. Nah, she I don't. Yeah, it's hard to tell, Eric. It's really hard to tell. Uh, well, like I said, I don't think it was the coyotes. I'm kind of like Brandon. I wish that dog could talk. No, I know what her story is all about. Uh, and uh, 20 at the end of 2012, 2013, uh, I was taking cyberknife radiation, and uh, the lady who sold German shepherds. Uh, as I was when I was start after I'd finished my radiation, was trying to get back on my feet and get my strength back, because they were shooting it to my brain, so I wouldn't rattle so much. Uh, the lady who was selling German shepherds, uh, she fixed me up. I was looking for a service dog, and little did I know it wasn't about having a service dog. Uh, it was about companionship, and that dog was put into my life at a time. He was here for a reason, and he fulfilled that reason. And then I had to let him go because of certain reasons. Uh, but he was there for me, and he was provided for me for when I needed him, and I know that for a fact. But letting him go was the hardest thing. I mean, it was rough. Nobody really knows uh, how hard it was, but me. But it also it was just a chapter in my life that had to come and go. I can't explain it. You don't know what you're asking Brian to do, Melinda. But I'll tell you right now, I feel bad and that something happened to the dog, and you know, they have and them having to go through all that. But I tell you what, uh, when it come to them kids and seeing them stand there, uh, that was too much for me. Yeah, yeah, I lost Coco too. The same year, 2020. I lost Coco. I lost Duke, and the end of the year, I lost my sister. That was it was rough. It was a rough year. I had Coco, my cat. It was actually my son's cat to start with. Let's just put it that way. It was mine at the end. I had Coco 22 years. Uh, yeah, yeah. It was a hard video to watch. I'm gonna tell you. and not just for the fact the dog was hurt, like I said, just the kids and Brandon. Uh, and I'm sure Stephanie too, but Stephanie was hiding it pretty good. Uh, Trying to talk about it now while it's fresh on my mind because there'll be things I'll forget later on. That'll come back to me a little bit at a time. And if my video the other night embarrassed anyone or made anyone turn red in the face, I'm sorry. But I thought of that and I had to tell it. Uh, yeah. There's a. But if she makes it, she made it through the surgery, she makes it through the night, and gets to come home and everything, and she heals up, uh, she can still have a good life. I believe so. Yeah. I started to go live earlier, and then I cut it off because they came on. They said, uh, I don't know. I thought they said 10:15, and it was 10:15 my time. But 9:15 their time. And I thought it was by Central Time and not by Eastern Time. I figured I had an hour, and uh, I no sooner went on a few minutes, and boom, they were uh, they were on, and there was somebody that came on. I think his name was Bill, who sent me a message. He was one came up on the screen, and I said, "Well, hello, one, whoever you are." But then I said I had to go because the Eddie Family Farm is on, and go over there. Uh, uh, yeah, I have too, but I want to tell you, uh, my German Shepherd, Duke was a hard one for me. I mean, I had to put Duke down, and I mean that he didn't get sick and die. He didn't. Uh, he had something go wrong in his brain. They wanted to do an autopsy on it, but I said, "What? What's the need? What? Why? There ain't no need." Uh, yeah. Now Coco, the cat, had uh, she had a good life. She was the boss. She bossed a 120-pound German Shepherd around. I mean to tell you, she uh she run the roost around here. She did what she wanted to do when she wanted it done. She let you pet her when she wanted to be petted, and when she got after Duke found his place. He never ever dared to take her on, and she was a little bitty cat too. She was the boss. Uh, but now, uh, Duke would eat you alive if you come around here. But that cat, nope. And she lived 22 happy years. She went for years without ever being outside. And in 2013, she I got I got Duke, and I had built the porch, screened-in porch, and everything, and it took forever to get her to cross the threshold of the front door onto the porch. But when she did, she was tickled to death. I still remember the first time. Weeks after that, after she finally started going on the porch, it was weeks later before she decided to go down the steps into the grass. And it was still so funny to watch her walk on the grass. She was like, "Oh no, oh, wait a minute, hold it." She was walking around like, "What's this? What am I standing on?" she was she was hilarious. But then she got to where she would go out the door, go around the house. She'd never go out down the driveway or out across the field or back behind, back into the field, the backyard or anything. She stayed right around the house and come back in. She'd make her rounds, uh, but she just no. Uh, the only time that she ever got very far away from the house was the night she passed away. Uh, it was like she was saying, "I'm leaving now, and I'm going to go away, and I'm going to go somewhere and lay down, and I don't want you to see it." And uh, Duke, I had already put Duke down, and she went out, started out back towards had like the field behind the house between the barn here, and I got to looking for her to check on her and couldn't find her. Well, Petra found her. She said she's over here in the field. She was laying down there in the field, and I went and got her and brought her back in and put her in her little box on the porch. And I was talking to my girlfriend in Virginia that night, and I said, "Well, look, I know she's something. You know, she's had a stroke or something. She was in bad shape." I said, if she's not well by morning, I'm doing better by morning. Uh, I'm going to take her to the vet, and because I know she's not she ain't got much left in her. I said, but I just don't know if I could do that again after Duke. I said, I wish the Lord would, you know, if she has to go, take her before I have to take her. Uh, and that night she passed on away. I just didn't want to have to do that again. Yeah, but coyotes just didn't. Uh, I don't. I don't think coyotes had anything to do with this. What she did or got into or whatever. Uh, like I said, coyotes would have chewed on her more. She would have had a bunch of damage on her. And I was looking it up. Coyotes have 200 to 250 pounds per square inch of biting power. Could they crush a bone? Sounds like it to me. Uh, I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think a pet bull's got a little bit more bite, a little more per inch jaw pressure. But they ain't too far apart. Uh, but like I said, she'd been chewed up real bad. Uh, they don't have no mercy on anything they get down, and that includes humans. If they get you down, they ain't gonna ease off on you and go, okay, we won, let's go now. Uh uh. because there wouldn't have been just one out there. Melinda, that's a hard one. Good night, Neil. Neil, give us a word of wisdom before you go. He said he didn't talk in the Eddies. He didn't talk in the Eddies tonight, and he ain't saying a whole lot here tonight. Well, it's morning to him, but you have a good nap, and God bless. Yeah, you're the one that has it all. Yeah, Neil's you, it might be a little comical, but it's full of wisdom. Sweet dream, Neil. That's what I said. Okay. If you can't think of nothing right now, Neil, it's hard to believe, but you know, don't bend over unless you're able to get up. That might be a good one. Christina. Is Christina still here? I'm looking at where she typed last. Did she leave us? Or did she say? Or did she just disappear like she usually does? That was it. I should have known. That was it. Oh, I had some tea here somewhere. Anybody seen it? My shoulder is killing me tonight. Yeah, it just registered, Peggy, when you typed that. Well, that was it. That wasn't it. Let me get my tea. Y'all figure out if Christina's still in there or not. I found it. Uh, that one. Let me tell you, I've been going on enough of them at night here lately. I'm waking up all hours, and I wake up. Last night I woke up, and one time, and I don't know. The time I can't tell you. I don't know. I remembered it this morning though. I woke up and I thought, "Where's my wallet?" And I got up and started looking for my wallet. And I know where my wallet is, but I couldn't find it. Uh, so I don't know. And I guess I went back to sleep eventually. But that one time I woke up looking for my wallet. Wait till you wake up in your own house and you can't remember where the bathroom is. I'm going through the house, walking in the, turning the wrong lights on, looking and going, that's not it. Uh, uh, Still here. I'm just celebrating the fact that it's midnight. That's something to celebrate. You made it to midnight. Yeah, you got to watch out for them potatoes with the eyes. I've heard that before, a long time ago. I hadn't thought about it in years, but I've heard it before. Don't bend over there. Why? Because the potatoes are right. And you know, that's something else. We get out there and work in the garden when we were little and be out there. And I can still remember Mama getting out there working in the garden. And she wore a dress in the garden. It's a big long dress, but uh, she wore a dress. She didn't put on no work pants. She wore them dresses. I don't remember. I don't know what they were made of. They wasn't that thick or nothing. I do remember that. Uh, yeah, yeah. I never saw my mama in a pair of pants. She always wore a long, long dress, and she had to wear a slip underneath it because they'd be, especially in the summer. You should wear those thin ones, I reckon. Sure, right side saddle. A lot of women wore a dress and rode a horse. They rode side saddle. Ladies rode on. They made saddles for it. Uh, they didn't throw the leg across the horse. I'm sure a lot. I'm sure a lot of women wore breeches working on the farm and stuff. But yeah, but I just never saw Mama do it. Of that entire backyard had a lady lived in Chattanooga here years ago. Uh, we'd help her plant her garden in her yard. She lived in the city, but she lived in a road that come around. When you're riding on this road, it come around behind her house. You rode right past her garden, and it come around and went circled around her all the way around her house, the whole, one side and the back and the front, and went on up the hill. And there was somebody lived right straight behind her. There was people on the other side of that road where that road, come up, come around, and I'm gonna tell you, uh, we never planted a garden. Well, the first time we went over there, she had these plastic bags full of blackbirds. And before you put the tomato plant in the ground, she wanted to drop a blackbird in the hole. Okay, that was for fertilizer, she said. And I went by there one time, and she was shooting them blackbirds out her kitchen window outside. We used to tell her, man, that's not safe to do. "Well, I'm shooting them in the air. I'm shooting them up there." Okay, but you shouldn't. It's against the law to shoot in the city limits like this. She lived in a city, and that's what yeah, she did. She put blackbirds. She thought they were her fertilizer. I don't know where she got that from. I never heard of it before until her. But I guess well anyway, she finally quit doing it. The people who lived behind her house, the back of their house faced the back of her house on that road. The front of their house was on the road, and she shot their sliding glass door out one time, and she quit shooting after that. Uh, yeah, but she would shoot them and put them in the freezer and save them till garden time. That's what she wanted. So that's what we did. We digged a hole. She yeah, she put the bird in. We'd have to dig the hole deeper than we needed to dig it because we had it plowed up. We just you could plant the tomato plants and stuff without digging a big hole. You know, but we had to dig a hole big enough for the blackbird to go in, put some dirt back in over it, and then put the tomato plant and stuff in. And English saddle. I don't know what they called. I don't know what they called the ladies. It actually now Eric. It actually when they were setting up, you pick the lady up by the waist and set her up there. The other side of the way the saddle was made was just like as if you got on a horse and sat there and straddled him, with the same as the back that way. Oh yeah. Blackbirds, that is funny. Uh, but when we used to always tell everybody when they were because she'd give tomatoes away to people and stuff, and uh, tell everybody how's that blackbird taste. tank's going off about something out there. Yeah, that's probably true. But I heard the tomatoes always did good. We had to have awful green thumbs, or she had some awful good blackbirds. I don't know which one it was, but she was she was one of them ladies that would get out there. She couldn't do it no more, but she'd tell you how she wanted it done, and that's the way she wanted it done, or she didn't want it done. But she'd start on you before time to turn the ground. She'd start on you. When you gonna get over here and get it done? When you gonna be over here? Uh, how long is it gonna be? Can I expect you this weekend? I'm, yeah, I bet she got. I bet she could. Cherokee. Epsom salt. Well, Scott has been going down there working in the high tunnel a little bit, getting the tomato cages out of there. Yeah. Now, how do you gauge that? Because we get a lot of tomatoes without Epsom salt. How do I wonder how people come up with these stuff with this different ways of doing this stuff? I might have to do that now. How much Epsom salt do you put in the hole? Now I've heard of coffee grounds and mixing it in the soil. Eggshells. About a tablespoon. Okay. I might have to try that now just as just for comparison. Uh but you feed your chickens their own eggs and they eat all that and it makes their eggs that they lay harder and harder, thicker and thicker shell. Yeah, that's right, babe. Making me a note so I don't forget it. Epsom salt. A tablespoon. Put in the tomato plants. Grows more tomatoes. Okay. I kept track of my jalapeno peppers. Counted every one of them that came off of there. Were you supposed to know the outcome already? Wait a minute, wasn't it Peggy that said that's what you do? You said it, Peggy. Yeah. Oh. Okay, for your area. Okay. Tank is really going off an awful lot. I don't hear nothing else. Oh. He's a long ways off barking now. Can y'all hear him? Well, coyotes just jump out of them unless you put a top on it, and then you most likely wouldn't get them to go in it. He's not close to the house. But he's sure barking. It's not a mean bark. It's a I want you to know I'm here bark. I whistle, so the camera will be going off in a minute. If he's no, I won't either because he's still barking at something. Y'all entertain each other for just a minute. He quit. Yeah, get out of my area. I want to don't come no closer. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, the thing about it is, he'll bark at a rabbit, but it don't last very long. Scares the rabbit runs off, and he quits barking. Deer, same way. He'll run the deer off when they come across right behind the house here. Uh, but he quits barking. It don't last but just a minute, but that was barking going on and on and on. So something wasn't moving on. Helps their feed. What? Mix of warm water first. Oh, talking about. Oh, you're on your cell phone. Hey, when I do these lives, and is it? Are any of you looking at me on TV? That's right here. So. Absorb it through your skin. Uh, well, I think it was. Uh, I think it was Neil. I was on Christina's live the other night, and she wasn't no bigger than that right there on my screen. Holy cow! Did y'all see that? I think I'm. Yes. What did you see? Make sure you saw the same thing I saw. Well, yeah. And it came on there. It's going to start that mess again with me. Yeah, they did. No, I discovered apparently there's certain things you can do on StreamYard that is new to the newest upload. Because uh, what's his name was talking about it the other day when I was trying to get thumbs up to do thumbs up. See, that ain't working. But anyway, before I get sidetracked to where I don't know what I'm talking about, uh, I told Christina on the TV on my TV, I wasn't making a heart. The picture wasn't no bigger than that right. It was about that big in the middle of my TV. I went back to my tablet because it was bigger on my tablet. I was trying to watch it on my TV. Yeah, you got this big screen TV up there, and there's a little place right in the middle of it that somebody's in there, and you're like, yeah. But that was and Neil's. I think it was Neil. Neil said mine was the same way on TV, so that's why I was wondering. Why would that be? Let's see. A heart would be like that. That would be a heart, see? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, see, it does work. Huh. That thumbs up thing don't work no more, huh? See? Well, I wonder what else it does. Because it shocks me every time something like that happens. And I'm like, how'd that happen? And I wasn't making no heart. I was making a little, I was trying to show a little box like that, you know? What's the question? How did it know up close to my chest? How'd you know that, Melinda? Before it was down here. All I had to do it, put it down. If y'all said put it down on the table, put my hand down on the table, on front of the screen like that. Now it's over here on my chest. That's the weirdest thing. How'd you know? I had to hold it to my chest. And then how did somebody know it was put when they told me the last time to put it down here like this in front of the screen? Now it's not working nowhere. That stuff's got messing with me. No, just not just about. And there it goes. Nope. Anyway, well, I was talking about my screen on TV. Am I full screen on the TV? There's got to be a setting because uh, won't do that close to camera. Okay. That is, you know, yeah, you know that camera's watching me. Well, see, once I cast to my TV, I can use my phone to send messages, and I can still comment. I wonder what else it'll do. Is there any other kind of movements you can do that makes something different? Uh, I guess not. No, I'm not going to do that. Make rain? How do you do that? And the rain. And the rain. Making me feel right stupid, making funny things on the camera for no reason at all. Well, Eric, good night, buddy. God bless. Take care. We'll catch you next time. Maybe. Will it do a bye-bye? Well, anyway. It should be able to do a bye-bye. It should do that, you know. Bye. See you later. Toodaloo. Bye. That's something they should. We need a manual. Need something. I need a pill. Do do do. Nope. Oh, my shoulder's killing me. Yeah, but I'm not gonna take nothing for it. I'm awake. I'm awake 20 times a night anyway. So if I can't sleep because of my shoulder, or stay asleep because of my shoulder, it ain't changing a thing, is it? Melinda's laughing at us now. Oh, he's at it again. I I don't know. It's been a few days since I did that, and it really just started hurting me real bad today, this evening. So I can't really say it was because I was doing those bushes, but it's messed up. Has been for years now. It's just getting worse. I mean, I think I told y'all I had told Scott back a few months ago. You know, we were talking about different things, and uh, I said, "Well, you know, I'm too old to worry about it now. It don't bother me that bad. And I'm not never going to do nothing about it." Uh, I know all that. See, I've got my back. I broke my back in '99, and I've got deteriorating disc in it now. And uh, anyway, you know how they supposed to be like this. Well, mine's like this. They're slipping off each other and twisting. But my shoulder, see, you can take your, I can take my right hand and reach way up my back. I can, I can reach. No, I can reach way up here. But this hand, my left hand, that's it. I can't reach behind my back with it. That's as far as I can go. So I can just start to put it behind my back. Well, yeah. Uh, but I tell people, I tell young people all the time, take care of yourself. Because I did a lot of martial arts and stuff when I was younger. And that's probably because that's probably what all my arthritis is in my wrist and hands are about. Yeah. And now, that lady I was talking about with the blackbirds, she used to spray her knees uh, with WD 40. Uh, she'd spray a WD 40, on her knees and rub it in. They wasn't. WD 40, that's what she used. She sprayed WD 40 on her knees. Her knees hurt her all the time, and she'd spray WD 40 on them. And like I said, and she'd spray it on them and then rub it in. I was like, I don't think that's good for you. Oh, it works wonders. I think sometimes when things work wonders for us, sometimes it's all in our head just because we done something. One time I hurt my back years ago, got over it, no problem. But they said I strained a muscle. But I was down in Savannah, Georgia, and I had on some uh, storm screen doors. It's like storm screen doors. The aluminum screen doors is what they were. And they were my last stop, and they were stacked. I think I had like 40 of them that was going there. They didn't have a dock, and I pulled in there that night uh, and went to bed at their gate. Even Christina could have told you if if oh, Wintergreen, you said. I thought you said Walgreens. Wintergreen rubbing it. Well, the only thing I couldn't see where WD 40 would take away any pain. It might stop you from squeaking when you walk, but it ain't. I don't think it'll take away the pain. Uh, but I was unloading. There was three guys that come around there when I pulled around back that morning to unload. When I got up and went and got me something to drink. Uh, hey, Stacy, how you doing? Yeah, we'd good to have you drop by. And we well, one person couldn't really handle them doors by herself. And I said, well, y'all gotta uh y'all got somebody else, so you have two up there and two down. Now there's only three of us here. So I jumped up in the truck and I said, well, we'll hand them down to you then. And but they were as long as the trailer. They were long enough that two people, when we pulled them out, you had to kind of dip them down and swing them around like this to get them, to hand them down. And it was working for us. We were handling it okay. And one of the times we did it, my back popped. And I mean, it popped loud. I mean, and I felt it just like. And I said, the guy was standing there staring at me. And I said, "Did you hear that?" He goes, "Yeah, what was that?" And I said, "It was my back." Where are you from, Stacy? And what part of the world are you in? Is it cold where you're at? Is there any snow where you're at? Well, we went on and he says, "Dang." Well, we went on and unloaded the doors, no problem. Nothing hurt. Well, I decided when I finished in Savannah to head north, come on home, because there was a load going to California sitting up in Dalton, Georgia, which was somewhere I wanted to be because of the produce. So I headed north, and man, I wasn't hurting or anything, but I went to get off the exit down in Dalton. And when I went to slow down and going to shift gears, and I went to hit the clutch, and I couldn't mash the clutch with my left leg. I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Hold it." So I revved the engine and used the RPMs to drop the gear and the brake. And I was trying to push the clutch. I couldn't push. I didn't have enough strength in my leg to push the clutch. And it started to hurt when I started pushing. And I thought, man, well, I got down to the bottom of the ramp. I made it on over at the terminal. And I got down out of that truck, and I couldn't stand up straight. I was like, "Oh no!" Almost like I was almost bent over to the point. I raised up a little bit, but I was almost to the point to where the way I was sitting, and I was like, "Oh man, I can't believe this!" And I couldn't come all the way straight for nothing in the world. Well, the company I was contracting through that company, and I was they had I had took out their disability plan through their company. It was something they offered there if you wanted. Well, I didn't have to, but I took it out. And well, I, I went in the door over there and I was having trouble walking. And somebody said, "Dean, are you okay?" I said, "Man, I don't know what happened to me." And I kind of explained, I said, the only thing that happened was my back popped, but we still went ahead and unloaded like 25 more doors or something. I said, it didn't bother me at all. I drove all the way up until I went to get off the exit. I've been in pain since I hit the exit ramp. And well, you need to go down and see the doctor. And it's kind of like a workman's comp thing, insurance, if you were out of work thing. Uh, they said, well, go down and see our doctor. Go down there and see them. And they'll get you right on in. And I said, well, where's it at? So I went ahead and went to their doctor. He come in there. He wanted to do an X-ray and all that. Okay. Well, he says, you pulled a muscle. I said, I pulled something, all right. And he said, well, I want to send you over to get some physical therapy and get it worked out and get your back straightened out. Oh, did he? And well, the only bad part about it was I had to drive to Dalton to go to this doctor because that's where all their doctors were. And I thought, well, I could have switched to my doctor, but since I was paying for that insurance plan through them, I thought, yeah, I better go to them because I ain't got to pay nothing that way. And anyway, I made my first appointment. I went down there, and that lady got to working with me. And I ain't kidding you. I drove myself down there, but I thought I was going to have to get somebody to come and get me to take me home because they made me hurt worse than I hurt the whole time out from the time it started. They were killing me. I come out of there. I come out of there bent over more than I was before and hurting more than I was before. And they're going, take your muscle relaxers, take your muscle relaxers. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I know him, don't I? Yeah. He's on YouTube. I think I'm on his channel. I think I watch it. Yeah. Yeah, I've been on live. I was on live with him one time. I watched his channel. I hadn't seen a video here in a few days from him. Uh, he was doing something to a motorcycle the last time I saw him. Uh, don't ain't his wife or whatever named Linda? I think I'm right. But anyway, at first I swore that I'd never go back down there after what they did to me. But they talked me into going back, and that time wasn't the second time wasn't as bad. And I kept going back, and it took a couple of weeks there. A couple of weeks, I was like, I don't need to come back no more. You know, they said, well, go down there and get you a doctor's excuse. So you can go back to a doctor thing, so you can go back to work. I said, I work for myself. I don't need no doctor's excuse. I went back over there. I want to get a load. What do you got going out? Did you get a release from a doctor? I'm like, well, I'm not doing therapy no more. They wanted me to go. I said, call down there at that doctor's office. Tell them to write me a release. Yeah, wife is, yeah, yeah. I think I know him. I think I know him real well. Uh, I think I watched a lot of his shows. It just ain't all coming to me right now. A little bit. Yeah. Well, anyway, I ended up on the phone with the doctor, and I said, "Look, I don't want to drive back down there." I said, they released me over there. I said, I'll come over here, go back to work, and they want a letter. He goes, they released you? I said, yeah, yeah. He says, okay. He sent a letter. He sent a fax over there to him. So, but they were sure pushing them muscle relaxers. She said, you ain't been taking them muscle relaxers. You wouldn't be so stiff if you would have a little. You wouldn't hurt so bad when we do this. I'm like, well, if I don't. I needed one when I left there. I didn't need one when I got there. I needed a bottle full of pain pills when I left there. I didn't think I could sit down in the car. But yeah. Don't let spell check get you without thinking. Everybody figure it out. Yeah. I've seen some of them pill pushing people that come in there and provide them samples for the doctors and stuff like that. Yeah, just here's you some samples. Uh, I've seen some of them at work. They just make you sleepy. Yeah. Well, everything is going so much computer. Last time I went to Vanderbilt up in uh, Nashville, uh, yeah, Vanderbilt's in Nashville. Uh, you had to go in, and you always had to put your name in. A pedestal looking thing with a computer on it. Uh, you had to punch in your appointment, your name, and it would pull it up after you got so much in. It would pull you on up, and you'd hit. It would ask you if you were there. Well, duh. I'm standing here pushing my name in. I guess I am. And well, I had done this several times there at Vanderbilt, and yeah, that's it, baby. And yeah, it's like a tablet. Yeah, but it's on a pedestal thing, and it's just punch in your information. And I punched yeah, and it said signed in, and blinked back like it was going to start over again for the next person. I said, okay, we checked in. So I went over and sat down like all the other times and wait for them to call you. And I waited and waited and waited. I think Peter took me up there that time. I think that's when it was. One of the times. Her or Scott one took me. But we were sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. The time came for my appointment. Went on by. Of course, you always expect it to take longer than be past the appointment time. And but time just kept going by. I said, man, I don't. We drove 140 miles to get there. Every time I had to go up there, and I was tired, and I done went over and took the MRI and all that stuff. That was all behind me. I just, this was to see the doctor, and they, I went up there. I told the lady, I said, look, I can't stay much longer. I've got, I can't stay much longer. How much? Do you know how long is it going to be? Anytime soon, they're going to get me in. Oh, yep. And she pulled up to look. She's back there. Mr. Herndon, you didn't check in. Huh? You didn't check in. I said, well, I guess I did. I punched it in over there. It said I did. And it switched back to the screen for the next customer. Well, it don't show you did it. You missed your appointment. Wait a minute now. I've been sitting here for an hour and 45 minutes. Don't tell me I missed my appointment. Anyway, I did get to see the doctor. And then the nurse in the back admitted that they were having trouble with that thing. Well, why did they keep using it? Why didn't they put a sign over it and say, please, please see the receptionist to check in? No. Uh-uh. I went to the doctor with a bad case of pink eye. I had to ask for. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta remember that. That maybe that's why it didn't. That maybe that's why that thing didn't check me in. Is because somebody picked their nose and rubbed it on there, and I didn't, and my finger slipped off of it. But no, it said It told me my appointment was confirmed, but it didn't register up there where she was at. Like I said, the nurse in the back says that thing's been messing up for 3 or 4 days now. I'm like, so when somebody's turn to come up, either put a sign on it, like I said, or if they wanted to keep trying to use it, at least when my appointment time come, it was my turn. There goes that bubble again. I didn't do that. When it's my turn for them to come out and call my name, see if I'm there. That do something besides just going on to the next person on the screen. What are you laughing about, Peggy? Was there something funny going on? Oh, the ball. I know. I didn't do. I don't think I put a thumbs up, but I guess I may have. Well, don't laugh that hard. I'm hurting enough for all of us tonight. Look, it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey, oh, there it goes. It did it. It's funny how when you try to get it to do it half the time, it won't do it, but it does it by accident more often than it does. That's why the first time it ever happened, I thought one of y'all messing with me. And yeah, that's right. I was really, really thinking it was Neil. But I know now. Uh, I was trying to get a thumbs up to give me a thumbs up like that, and that wouldn't work for their their computer wouldn't do it. He said the new updated version did it. He was going to have to update his. And I'm like, oh, so it does do it, and we're back up to 5 people. Yeah, I didn't see it. Whatever the garbage was. Oh, still got. What did they say? Let me look. Yeah, Melinda. Melinda was sitting there with the trigger finger loaded. I guess y'all kind of missed that tonight, hadn't you? Had after doing it so much the other night. A bunch of good. Do you remember being 5? Yeah, I can remember back to 4 years old. And I think I don't know, I was talking about that. Oh, I was talking about that the other day. Uh, well, I was watching, I'm trying to remember who I was watching. Uh, she's up north, and it's cold and snowy up there. Country home. Meg's. Meg's little country home or something. House. Down the hill I'm talking about. uh, she had asked on one of her videos something about how far back somebody could remember. And I made a video. I had made video like that. I talked about it. Uh, uh, she joined the channel, by the way. I was watching her. She had I can't remember. She had somebody related to her helping her paint on her house on a video. It was one of her old videos. And I said, take she says, I hope he gets all the upper part done up there, you know. I said, remove the ladder. He'll have to stay up there till it's all done. And uh, and I watched one about a little fence she put up for a dog. She don't have the dog no more. The dog passed away. Lived his life out with her. Yeah. Anyway, she commented back, but I joined her channel. I subscribed to her channel just to see what she does. Uh, the last one I watched, a bunch of snow. A neighbor of hers had used plow to go around her driveway so she could get in and out. And she sent me a message tonight, and I forget. I can't remember what it was about. But it might have been about the Eddie family because she was on there. She was on the Eddie's family channel, and I sent her one back and told her I was on there too. And but she said, I joined your channel. You got 200 now because I got 200 people. Hello, Adam. How you doing? Are you up late or up early, or depending on where you're at in this big world of ours? Well, thank you. Uh, it's only 11 p.m. Oh, well, see, you must be on the West Coast because it's 2 a.m. here on the East Coast, Eastern time zone, anyway. And it's already turned to Thursday. That's what I thought, West Coast. Yeah. Oh, is the weather doing you any good? Are you in the northern part or are you in the southern part? Oh, Peggy, Melinda, y'all. I had we went 6 days without any sunshine, any sun popping through. Another day, yesterday I think it was. It finally set up. It decided to come out of the sky. Oregon. Oh yeah. Well, but today the sun was out and it looked warm. Yeah. I I like traveling to Oregon. Yeah. Yeah. There's uh, so much burnt last year, and what was it, a couple of years ago out in California? They had all them fires too. Can't be much left to burn. D'Hive, StreamYard link. 72. It was still cold out today. I went out there. I went out there in a short sleeve shirt and had to come back in and put a hoodie on. Well, they don't want too much rain. They don't want the mountains to start mudsliding. Well, that's good. I know it ruined a lot of them fires y'all had out there. Ruined a lot of people's lives. A lot of wildlife too. I'm sure got moved out. And yeah, that sun was out today, but it was still cold. I don't know why. I can't. I couldn't. it wouldn't take no smoke at all long to get to me. I wouldn't be able to run. I wouldn't be able to get away from it. And wouldn't be able to breathe. Yeah. Well, I've noticed we've had uh, I talking about climate warming and uh, uh, no StreamYard. I don't know what you're talking about. D high. Because we've had some pretty cold. Pretty cold. In fact, I said in one of my videos when we were down there freezing, freezing, and stayed that way for 3 or 4 days. Uh, I was like, this climate warming is killing us down here. I'm freezing to death. Yeah, exactly. They'd fold their teepees up, and at the same time, back in the day, even if they had a cabin and it was going to lose their cabin, they didn't have that much stuff in it. They'd throw it in the back of a wagon and just start riding. I don't know. I know what you. What about it? That's what I was trying to. D high. What about it? What about StreamYard? You gonna wear me to death about StreamYard? But they, people didn't have a lot of stuff. They throw their farming equipment and their few chairs and roll up their bed bunk, their bed bunk that they had on where they had in there for throw it in the back of the wagon and start traveling. Yeah, D high. We know what StreamYard is. Yeah, and I am broadcasting on YouTube through StreamYard. Anyway, fire. Uh, just I guess it's just been a little over a year or so ago. My daughter lost her house, total loss. Everything she owned was in it. So it just makes you feel. Uh, oh, well, they're gonna give me a cot and 3 meals a day. When they gonna come get me? Well, she's got a long ways to go. At least she has somewhere else to at least go stay for now. So it's my mess. Glad to have you to drop by. But, I don't know what they can do. I just turned them loose here a while back, and I tell you what, they came back. I gave them all a ranch to work with, and they come back with a whole outfit on with hanging tools hanging all over them, and I mean they worked hard on here. uh, I started this channel uh, so my grandkids could have something to look at. You want to hit them in the head with a hammer now? He wants a hammer now. They got a whole tool belt. That's what I was trying to think of. They come back with a whole tool belt. And, and I've met some great people on here. Adam, yeah, it is. It's come a long ways. Uh, I used to, I used to be on Yahoo. Remember when they had Yahoo Chat and that's all went away. I had a channel on there, Older and Wiser, and they took that away, and I forget where a lot of them went to. I've been there before, but I can't remember. Haven't been there in several years. But I started this channel because I wanted to. I was watching other channels. Uh, uh, and then I got to thinking, well, you know what? Back in 2012, when I got sick and they started all these treatments on me, they only give me 5 years. They said they done put it in my head. I had the most I had was 5 years. That was in 2012. See, they don't know what they're talking about. And uh, I come a long ways. I come from anyway. I started this channel for my grandkids. And I mean, just this past 2 years, I've got one. Well, one that's a year old. It just turned a year old a few months ago, and one that was just born a few months ago. And I thought, well, two other ones. Uh, yeah, uh, I'm just never going to finish my business. Uh, Now, when the good Lord says, "Come on home," I'm ready to. I'm ready to go when He calls me, but not when somebody else tells me. Uh, uh, I learned something bent when I was sick. Doctors don't know nothing. They do everything. Well, I ain't gonna say that. There's some good doctors out there. Knows quite a bit of things about a lot of things, but not when it comes to living and dying. Uh, they base their information on previous people that not necessarily their patients, but the statistics. You know, somebody with that condition right there and that shape right there. You know, they don't usually last more than this much time. That's the longest living has been this, and that's what they base it on. Uh, yeah. Uh, that's exactly right, Melinda. But uh, when they're sitting there, you know, uh, when they're sitting there talking about what's wrong with you, you know, I've had cancer twice and I beat it both times, completely cleared up and completely gone. But I'd already reached my 5 year checkup thing where I didn't have to go back no more. They said just do your regular checkups like you would every year now. Oh, good. And then all of a sudden, about a year and a half later, there I go again. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't in the same place or anything. Uh, well, thank you, Adam. Uh, that's another good thing about doing these is you can control when people see you. Don't see you in your worst of times, you know. And well, I went through that, and they had to go down in my esophagus and remove all these little fish scales and clean them out and everything, and get all that straightened out. And after so long, they said, "Hey, it's smooth as a baby's behind down through there, just like it's supposed to be. Uh, you don't have to come back no more." Sounds good to me. Well, I went on there for about 6 years, 5 years, about 5 years. I went there about 5 years, and I started getting sick and feeling bad and having bad headaches, and it was like to me, it was almost like a virus that I couldn't get rid of. And I come home one time and I took a late load for Monday to leave with, and uh, well, by the week, I got home on Thursday night. By the weekend, I had to call in Monday morning and tell them you're going to get to cover that for me because I can't drive. I ain't got no business behind the wheel. Uh, I gotta go to the doctor, and because I got bad off all weekend, just one hours went by that I could tell I was feeling worse and worse. But I managed to. It was the weekend. I'm like, there ain't no doctor's office open on Sunday, and and well, I went to the doctor and I thought he was gonna pass out. All my vitals were off the chart. He said, "You've had a stroke, and you're at the verge of having another one, and you got to go to the emergency room. So I'm gonna call you an ambulance. We're gonna get you there right now." Uh, I was like, "I ain't going nowhere, no ambulance." He's like, "How'd you get here?" I said, "Well, I drove down here." He says, "Well, you can't drive out of here." He said, "I've got to get you to the hospital." I said, "Well, I'll call somebody to take me," and I did. Scott and Peter come down there, my neighbors, and uh, one took one dropped the other one off, and the doctor told him, so don't stop to buy a drink, a bag of chips, or nothing. Straight to the hospital, and they got me there. I still don't remember going in the hospital. I remember getting ready, leaving the doctor's office. I remember the ride there, but I don't remember going in. And the next time I woke up, my ex-wife and my son was standing beside my bed. Uh, and I didn't even know where I was at. I said, "What are y'all doing here?" "Well, they called us." And I'm like, "Who called you? What? Y'all go home. Where am I at, by the way?" you know. And they said they were going to keep me because my vitals were so far, unstable, and that they had done an X-ray and they could see something wrong, but they were trying to figure out what caused the stroke. Okay, all right, we do that. So they put me in a room, and late that night they took me down there and uh, did an MRI on my brain, on my head. And the next day they come in there and told me that I had a brain tumor. And I'm like, okay. And the story went from there, and I've been dealing with it ever since. So it messed with my hearing. Let me tell you about my hearing, though. I got to tell you about that one. You still with me, Adam? I want to know if Adam is still with me. Yeah. Well, that's where I had the knowledge and the experience of knowing that I didn't had no business driving. That was something the good Lord did give me. All right, Adam's still with me. Well, Adam, over time, I did cyberknife radiation, which they said they couldn't tell if it helped or if it didn't help. But uh, but over time, I completely lost all my hearing in my right ear, 100%. I was going deaf, and they told me I was going to go completely deaf. And uh, when I ended up with wearing two hearing aids, and then finally I got to where I couldn't hear at all, even with the hearing aid in my right ear. I went totally deaf in it. And my left ear was down to 30%. I could hear only 30% with the hearing aid. I take my hearing aid out, nothing you said made any sense. I could hear noise, a funny noise. Well, I've got a routine, Adam. I've got a routine. Uh, I and when I wake up in the morning, and my routine is I wake up and say, Lord, I don't know what you woke me up for this time, especially when I started this really when I was down, and I couldn't get out. I said, Lord, I don't know why you've woke me up this morning. I can't do much, but no matter how small it is, don't let me miss it and give me the strength to do it. And then I pray for people that I knew that needed prayer, who have asked for prayer. And then I would listen to a little scripture. I had this little box. It wasn't very big. And that little box, it was. I called it. I named it myself, the loudmouth, because it was loud. I never seen nothing so small play so loud. But it was nothing on it but scriptures, the Bible. But you had a button on it you could push, and it would play a random scripture. In this one particular moment, a few years into this, uh, I got done my routine, and I went to. I got to the point to mashing the button, and I always listened to it in the bathroom when I was getting ready to brush my teeth and wash my face. And I mashed that button, and nothing happened. No sound came from that little loudmouth. I mashed the button 2 or 3 more times, and then nothing at all happened. And come to find out, the battery, without any warning, quit working. And the battery in it was one of those watch batteries, one of them little flat round ones. And of course, you don't have them laying around the house, nowhere. And I was like, oh, well. I had back then a cell phone that I had wasn't much of a cell phone. It was a little old tiny thing. I said, well, maybe I can go pull the Bible up on my phone and listen to it. But that thing didn't put out enough volume. My phone was designed with the thing that I wore around my neck for me to talk on and to hear on that played to my hearing aid. But you couldn't listen to music or anything else on it. That's all you could do was the telephone part. And that phone, I was like, nah. No, I didn't throw it against the wall first. But it didn't work. I couldn't listen to it. And I laid my phone down and I said, Lord, I don't hardly ever ask for myself. It's always for everybody else. I hardly ever pray for myself. I still don't today. I give thanks to the Lord for, you know, and but I said I sure wish I could hear your scripture better. And just like I knew what I was doing, I reached up and I pulled the hearing aid out of my ear. My one I can't hear but 30% out of, and I pulled it out of my ear, and I hadn't wore one since, and I hear fine. I can hear good. Uh, the lady that does my hearing aid, she was just like, uh, 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 uh. She goes, you know what? I believed that something like this could happen, and I can't. If it was anybody I wish it would have happened for, it was you. She says you deserve it. She says we've prayed for you for a long time ourselves, and that's what I find. Other people's jobs are to pray for other people. It's not my place for me to pray for myself. It's my place to pray for other people, and I've been hearing ever since. I haven't put a hearing aid toward anywhere near my ear since then. And it was on June the 1st, 2020. 2020 was a bad year. Like I said earlier, I lost my cat that I'd had for 22 years. I lost a dog that I felt like the Lord had put into my life, and He did. Uh, but I got my hearing back on June the 1st. I lost my sister in 2020, the only sister I had. We shared the same birthday, just a lot of years apart. And but I went up to the fruit stand in this little store of ours up here on the highway, and Peter was in there, and I walked in, and I said, "I got something to tell you." And she looked at me, and she goes, "You can hear again." Yeah. Uh, yeah. All in the same year. But to still have my sister, I would have give up that hearing. If she could still be here. Uh, but that wasn't the way it's supposed to be. So somebody wasn't supposed to make it past 2017. It's 2020, 2024 now. I'm having a lot of memory problems here lately, and I have to think about things a lot more. But that's okay. That's okay. Uh, it's you know comes with age. But that was a blessing, and uh, but I lost my sister at the end of the year there in October. No, wait a minute, September. Yeah, October. And well, I had lost. I was afraid to get too far away from my doctors. I was. I had lost my confidence in pretty much in driving just about anywhere because I couldn't hear well enough. I wouldn't hear a siren. I wouldn't hear. I'd miss something. And everybody was taking me where I needed to go. Uh, but yeah, uh, it gave me the. I get my hearing back. Gave me the confidence. I hadn't seen my sister in several years at this point. Uh, and it been, I saw her just before I got sick, so been about 7 years. And I got my confidence back because I was able to hear again. And I went up there to see her, to spend some. Well, I don't believe in it. Believe your prayer. Believe God has has all. It's all in His control. And that I went up there and was able to be with her. We were able to do something I used to when she was little. I used to go over there and pick her up and take her to a place called High's Ice Cream. And uh, well, we gonna remember her. Your mom, I guess you're saying, right? Uh, but I was able to go up there and be with my sister. I loaded her up and took her to High's Ice Cream, something that she grew up doing with me. I used to go pick her up when she was little, and take her uh, to the High's Ice Cream store, and we got her ice cream or milkshakes is what we used to always get. Really, uh, yeah. But we got to do that one last time, and she was happy as she could be that we got to do. It was just something we. Anytime things wasn't good around the house, I went and picked her up and then brought the bright side of it. That the High's ice cream, Alzheimer's. Yeah. Adam, she's in our prayers. And that I got to be there with her when she took her last breath. I was able to stay those few months. I stayed up there with her, and I was there when things got bad, really bad. And like I said, I was there with her when she took her last breath, and good Lord took her home. Yeah, all these things happen, but we got, like I say, a lot of times we don't have to. We can tell our stories, but we don't have to dwell on them through our lives. We go on and find the joy in coming to know that uh, uh, we'll get together again one day. If you know Him as your Lord and Savior, if you accepted Him, give your life to Him, that's all He asks. He don't ask us to do flip flops or somersaults or anything else. Just trust Him, and we'll all be together again one day. And, I'm looking forward to that because I know a lady who always said, "When I get better, when I get to feeling better, I'm gonna cook a big family dinner." And I never got to eat her family dinner because of the fact I didn't know her until she was an elderly woman. But everybody talked about what a good cook she was because now we can sit down and have a meal, the best meal anybody could ever eat. We can sit down at a table and feast together on the best meal anybody had ever thought about because that was her dream. Uh, and I believe the Lord's going to fulfill it. But yeah, I know it's hard. It's I've seen a lot of people over the years. I visited a lot of people who knew who I was but didn't know more. There's a lot of people who I never knew, but I'd be there when their family was there and they didn't know their family. And I guess, dang, that's got to be hard. Uh, but you got to remember, one day she'll remember again. But, we're going to pray she gets better. We're going to pray that she's at, she can be at peace with life, with what she's going through. And that you get, we're going to pray that you have the strength to see her through it all. Adam, it's easy to pray. What people have problem with is believing in what they pray. Yeah. Well, that's true. Uh, there's a lot of people in jail who get jailhouse religion too. You know what I mean? Uh, walk out the door and forget all about it. But you know, uh, I believe what I pray. To me, it's not what my eyes see. It's not what my ears hear. It's not why. It's not how I feel. It's what I ask the Lord. And, if you don't know the Lord, you don't have to be at church to get to know Him neither. Uh, I got saved on a gas station parking lot at 10 o'clock at night. I was 18 years old. Been a lot of years ago. And I walked out the door of that gas station. I had closed the place up. I was the only one there. Nobody around but me. I walked out and I had turned the lights out and I walked out into the parking lot and I looked up and I said, I believe and I want you in my life. And I've never regretted it. Yeah. His presence in my life lets me know everything's okay. You know, you hear people say, hey, they get in a contract or whatever, or some kind of deal going on, and this happens and that don't go right, and then this goes right. And one says, well, it all come out in the wash. Well, I say it all come out in heaven. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Melinda. But that's what it is. I never had any idea that I was going to get saved. None at all. I never. I went from. In fact, the night that I got saved, I disappointed my girlfriend. She was waiting on me so we could go party to get up, close up, and get off work. And I didn't make it to that party. My life didn't change a little at a time. I wasn't under no stress. Nothing bad was going on. Yeah, I read a little red book. But it was, when I look back on it, I've probably said this to some of y'all before, it's been in here, but when I look back on it, there was a whole plan behind it. It was all set up. God had already went to work. He was already setting me up to come to Him, to give me that chance to come to Him in a way I never expected. And from ending up being on a day off when my girlfriend's mama needed a ride to church, to not being able to get away from my barber when she was trying to give me something, a script, a little track or something, to her pulling into the gas station and handing me a little red book that, just had a few pages, little red square book that told me what Jesus done for me, told me what God had done for me. Yeah, and I read that little red book from front to back twice. Tried to read it all night long, but I kept getting busy and had to lay it back down. But girlfriend waiting on me. I'll be there at 10:20. It won't let me 20 minutes to get there. I get this place closed down at 10. I'll be there, darling. Well, and well, I read that little red book, and just like I read it twice. Got up and walked out in that parking lot by my little lonesome self and looked right up in the sky and told him I wanted him in my life, and that changed it all right there. I'm talking about, there were so many things that just left my mind. The hate that I had for my stepfather, who, if I could have went back as a kid, I thought about doing some terrible things to that man for the way he treated me. But instantly, all that hate left me. All I wanted at the very moment was for him to know what I know now, for him to come to know my Savior, his Savior, our Savior. And I struggled with it. How am I going to get him to get saved? And one night I was praying, and the Lord told me, He says, just be who I ask you to be. Let me take care of the rest. And I thought, oh, like you did me. And believe it or not, I believed in my prayers that he would come to the Lord, that he would know him as his Lord and Savior, and it was going to happen. And it happened. And that's where I learned my power in prayer, was through that man. And a man that I grew up hating ended up being my best friend in life. Like I said, he was my stepdad, but I called him Dad up to the day I lost him. We all go through something, but we need to take something out of it, something good out of it. I'm going to tell you, Adam, uh, you'll never find that. You'll never find the love that the Lord has for you anywhere else. You'll find a lot of things in life, and you might think it's the best thing this side of cherry pie, but and down south we say apple pie. But nothing's better than getting to know. Yeah, you're welcome back here anytime you see us. I don't really. Uh, if you click on that bell, you'll know when I go live. I don't have no particular time. I just do it when I feel like it. Just when I'm able to. I make little short videos, but you don't have to know. It don't matter to me if you watch my videos or not. But if you need to talk and you see us live, you come see us. But here tonight, I'm putting you and your mama in the Lord's hands. And yeah. Hope I can. Yeah. Like Peggy says, not asking for anything. Not asking for anything. Uh, except for I hope you hear the words. All right, Adam. God bless. Remember, Jesus loves you, and remember to smile because you can think about it when you're sad. Think about He loves you. Put a smile on your face. Well, Melinda, Peggy, I think we're about all that's left. Uh, it says there's 5 up there. And let's just say one of them is Adam that had fell off if he left. It's still showing up there. There's the 2 of you, and let's just say one of them might be me. Let's see, 2, 3, 4. There's still one more. Yeah, Peggy, it's time. My voice is getting strained. I'm getting tired. That's when I know I'm tired. But y'all's rest well, and keep looking up. Tomorrow's a new day, or today is a new day. Oh, and let's just keep on remembering who we're supposed to follow. Well, uh, God bless. Remember, Jesus loves you. And keep on smiling. Good night, y'all. I have no idea where to mash the button on this thing to turn it off. Oh, there it is. I gotta mash again.